Nice, physical, nice. Sounds good, sounds good. Thank you, sir, thank you. Oh, doing okay, doing okay, yeah? Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, one sec. One moment. And let's get to it. So get to it, all right. All right, let's go on. Let's go on. Okay, sounds good, physical, sounds good. The shopping time feels good. It's already very close, already very soon. Not that much left, and that is indeed true. All right. Then Thomas, then. And going the full Giga Chat route there. I see, the based route. I don't support that protest, Steven. Insane. That's a rare position to hear. That's a rare one. That's a rare one. I mean, I do kind of agree with that. If anything, it would highlight some shit, change some things, advance some things, expose some things. Might be not that bad, not as bad as it seems. Just gotta have some control and everything going over it. All right, connect. There we go. Let's get that coffee going. But there is indeed a lot of protest about that stuff. A lot of noise. Wait, there you are. A lot of it. That you are right about. And let's go on. And get some of that cream. Right. Whoop. Real people won't even care to upload. It kind of depends, though, really. Because like a lot of uploading is going for discoverability's sake. And what about making good art? Well, I mean, they do. That's what's assumed, at least, you know. And that is what assumed. All right. Let's get, okay, yeah, no milk still. I gotta order some. Get this one. There's gonna be like different type of stuff now, though. There will be more, you know, kind of like this the professional platforms and everything, which is already the case though. Like it's not like you farm a lot of work orders and everything through like I don't know, some like DeviantArt or some shit, right? Well, I mean, some people do, right, when it comes down to commissions, and I'm pretty sure. Well, that's how people can discover you also too, right? But I think a lot of people work through the special platforms for that, where you do perform those jobs. And that's where the rating and other things are gonna kick in. Every single thing is replaceable to an extent, I would say. Not exactly. To some extent, yeah. Two different kinds of offer. Yeah, I do kind of on that. I do agree kind of on that. It's gonna be different kind of offering. As I said before, like with many other things that got replaced by maybe not particularly AI, but with the digital tools, they are still fine and they still exist, you know. Like sure you can like have some sort of a service or something to replace, like I said before, like your like accountant or something, like some like the tax automation service and everything. But then there's still a lot of nuances that can arise, and especially the bigger your business grow and everything, the more you need, you know, actual professional who will know how to do that stuff right, and no one can really replace that. And no one can even really replace that in many other situations like that. So yeah, it just creates another separate market for it, I would say. And just gonna make the situation there's like two different markets now. There's gonna be some generated stuff, which actually, to be honest, the AI generation and everything in terms of art and stuff, they will still actually not only not like kill the jobs for some like low quality. Well, okay, low quality artist kind of sounds a bit, you know, mean, but maybe true though. They could just become, you know, like the editors now for the generated stuff, and just like it is with some other things, you just gonna be editing it, changing things here and there after. But yeah, sure, it's gonna satisfy like a bunch of kind of like low tier demand. So a lot of people might end up without getting those low tier offers and stuff. And I think, as we saw with a bunch of those like dank, you know, Fury commissions and everything, people can be getting quite a lot for something not super crazy good, let's put it that way. Same even goes quite often with like emotes, for example, when people just have some sort of templates that they just kind of adjust towards some particular streamer, but they still stay more or less the same. And get paid as a full new set of emotes. I mean, I do think it needs to be regulated, though. That's for sure. Be regulations. There should be the copyright stuff there involved too. I think it sounds quite right also to make those like the AI generated things not copyrightable and everything. For example, not trademarkable in next gen LO, as in, you know, Like, sure, everyone can generate that picture then. Not, it's not yours if you generated it in particular, or you got lucky getting this one. Doesn't make it yours. So do you really have rights to claim it or something when a script could generate it for anyone else? Not really. So yeah, if that's a company, you want to generate some things and assets for your game, for example, with the AI, well, then it's gonna be do not be surprised that someone else does take your stuff later, because it's just generated. Anyone can do that. So you know why it's yours all of a sudden. I was going next gen. I give it 5 years and human won't be needed for art at all. I don't really think so. I don't really think so. The very top artists will be replaced. I really doubt it. I really doubt it. And model learning on images can be legislated. I think like that part is something, yeah, that requires also like usage and how this AI learns and everything, and how it uses the pieces of other art. That requires some legislation there for sure. Let's see, Shibeg, I say. As I said, it's a nice thing for some like low tier, low effort stuff to do. And I don't think it's ever gonna replace the high tier, high effort. I think that's already out of the, like the levels when AI is gonna replace us completely everywhere as a species and everything. Because I really doubt it. I really doubt it's gonna go that far, that fast. Let's put it that way. The low tier gonna be replaced though. Yeah, I won't be able to compete. Yeah, that's true. Like on high tier art and stuff, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to. That's for sure. That is for sure. And I mean, even right now, if you take like some of the markets, for example, there's just like a bunch of things that people don't really care about too much in terms of like where the art is coming from, as you could see already many times, right? Using all the public domain stuff and everything. Just get some picture, put it on the wall, done. Yeah, version of Slug still gonna be a weeb. I mean, if it will be learning from him, then probably. Probably. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think it actually might be not a bad tool for some situations, especially as I said, in situations when people are on low budgets and everything, in the creative industries and stuff. I think that might be not too bad, because not like they would hire an artist anyway, they don't have money. It's more about the regulations, so it can be too abused by the Gigacorp and everything, because that will be a bit of a problem then. Them so them. Ingiri. I don't think it's gonna do that either. I really don't think so. Like by that, by those logics, you can just kind of say that like anyone basically can, and just with power of Google and everything, and just replace all the like best artists and the best coders and everything. No, really, doesn't really work like this. Doesn't really work like this, either with coding and with art. And still, you want to do some good stuff, you still need to They have a lot of experience, a lot of time invested, a lot of knowledge, a lot of learning, a lot of talent. You start with some low level cut, as I said. Like on the low level, it's gonna replace many things probably, yeah. On the low level, same as I said with like accountants, for example. Like, and if it's like this small, super little company like mine, for example, right? I don't need an accountant. Everything's done digitally, no problems. But then when you go higher tiers, higher leagues, you already need professionals. You already need people. No AI or digital tool not going to replace it, sadly for you. Sadly or not sadly, if so looking from the perspective of people and their jobs, then it's good that it's not going to be replaced, right? Yes, you I see. Can correct stuff itself even, all right. But yeah, I still think you will need for some good stuff. You still will need at least it's gonna be like the editors that will be required. It's gonna be like kind of operators, I guess. People who will know how to guide, how to start, how to write the line, the request, right? How to guide and how to fix things after and correct them. So it's just gonna be like kind of shift in the direction the job takes, right? So kind of like as like coders back in like I don't see yet coders at least folding, right? Because I think coders can like the life of a coder is basically constantly like adjusting to different things. You constantly evolve. Like when it was 15 years ago or more, when it was like Pascal and stuff like this that we were learning, that was one thing. Nowadays, it's completely different thing. Same with art, for example, too, right? Like sometime before it was just uh, not even like digital, right? Just physical, then digital art. Then there's different genres. And then now we have all the Furi commissions and stuff like this that people are doing and all the hentai and everything. Things just gonna change. There's just gonna be another step in evolution somewhere. Forward, backwards, maybe to the side, maybe diagonally. Who knows? Yeah, but you just gonna adjust. Same as like a bunch of other jobs just became kind of, you know, completely obsolete and everything nowadays. And still, even some of those jobs might might get some love nowadays. There's just less people there, for example, but those that are there, there are people who are actually good at that stuff. Like all the woodworking, for example, stuff like this. Like who needs that shit? You just like you have the device, you just like put the model 3D model in, put the piece of wood in, press the button, boom, here you go. Here's your dragon dildo or something out of wood. But there are still people who make those handmade dragon dildos, they still have their jobs there. There's just way less of them than it was like 100 years ago, for example, I guess. Give you a starting point, it won't solve the issues, yeah. Yes, either must I say, huh? Nothing beats a genuine handmade dragon dildo, yeah. It soaks in the love of the creator, the soul. Possible quality as quickly as possible. Speaking of that, also you can start arguing like, a lot of software and everything and using like the template that we already pre-made. That is also not good. Why? We should all be fair and start every drawing, every piece of code, everything from scratch. Because that gives some people advantage. They have more experience, they have more portfolio and base, that gives them advantage, man. We need to put everyone in the same back to monkey, basically. So everyone starts at the start line. So it's fair. It's all fair. Sadly, it's not. Sadly, shit's not fair, man. At all. Not sure if there's any field of work or something where shit is fair. I really doubt it. I really doubt it. But yeah, that's actually kind of interesting. Yeah, as you said, everyone thought that, you know, like the automatics and the robots and stuff gonna replace the basic working class, but they actually went for creative class instead. Interesting. Tables turn, and no one was molding when, you know, all those machines were replacing the woodworkers and everything, right? Uh, the barrel makers or something like this, right? Like when that was all replaced, that was like, you know, yeah, no, the progress, that was industrialization, that's the natural flow of things. Huh? I mean, kind of same shit, let's be real there. If you think about it. If you go full, you know, kind of like direct mode with that. Yeah, same as you need like one scuffed machine to replace like hundred of people with knives, for example, cutting. But machines still need operators. Even the machines that are fully automatic, you still need the operator of the automatic machine, which is also a thing. Which is also a thing. It's not that simple. They didn't get me back in the day for that job, though. Needed people with experience when I was right out of college. What is this like? Putting a program in the machine, dude. So easy. I could do that. Apparently not. Or is brain coherence and creativity division? Yeah, exactly. Like machine is not really creative in a sense. It's just like you give there the line and it just tries to like recreate something like that line with many like different styles and stuff. For example, unless how you build the line, right? Even if you build in some particular style, I tried that stuff. Like yeah, like some particular styles you put in, it's still gonna give you like every time absolutely different thing. And it's not like, you know, okay, I want it to be like that. And then you spend like an hour rolling that shit and you still not that. It's not that. Okay, this is close, but this is not that. Okay, so I will still need to get a person that will edit this shit for me. One operator for 1,000 replaced jobs. I mean, yeah, that's how it kind of went though. That's true. And the thing is also like there was no like let's be real that many even jobs in like the creative industry for a while, right? If you think about it. It's like only recently we got all the furry commissions and all the hentai and everything rolling, right? That now everyone's getting like a bunch of stuff, a bunch of work to do, really. It wasn't really the case before with the physical art, for example. Like I remember like artists here, like artists in universities, they were empty. No one wanted to do that because most of them were just like sitting in on the train stations and like drawing like quick portraits to make like a little bit of dough or painting walls in some facilities to make a little bit of money and stuff. And mostly they were ending up doing something else completely. Still don't have the real one. Yeah, and I don't think we're gonna get it anytime soon. And I said that there should be legislation over all that stuff for sure. Like in my opinion, as I said, if it's like it should be kind of limited for the big corporate in the sense like the production, the product of this AI stuff shouldn't be copyrightable and everything, right? So if it's like a big brand that wants to make something, they will kind of care about it, right? So no one repeats their style and stuff. That's why they do trademarks. That's why they do copyrights, right? Take it away from them. You want to have something that you can put your trademark copyright on, hire the person who will put their signature on the work, and that will be trademark, copyright, whatever. There's yours, you decide. But if it's a machine, well, anyone can press the button on a machine and get the same result. So, like, why that should be copyrighted by you in particular? Not even indie stuff, yeah. I think so too. Well, if it's a game, for example, right? A game can be just like it can be now, for example. I think like you use free assets, you can sell your game still. It's just free assets. It should be the same. Like you generated them, and you made like somehow you made like some character that is super cool, and everyone loves it after your game. That you already can't really copyright, right? Because it was generated. Which again, it comes down to like proving that stuff. Is it generated? Was it not? Oh shit, I paid that artist. Like here this artist is, and backwards, paid him. So he made the character. Or something like this. That also is a bit kind of like tricky in that way. Hey Geek, hello. Doing good, man. How are you, sir? What are you, sir? And yeah, one of the things that some of the one I forgot, ArtStation was it? The Epic thingy. They just like got an option. Like if you put your art there, you don't want that art to be learned by the AI bots and stuff. Get the check mark there. No, no bots, no AI learning from your art. Done. Still probably somehow will, most likely, but yeah, I think that's a good way to do it. Like you down for stuff to like learn your style and everything. Sure, you just allow it. You don't want to, remove the permission. Done. Maybe Dar, hello. Like it should be regulated. It should be research, controlled, and everything. But yeah, I don't think it should be just like no, like destroy the machines, bring back the woodworkers with the knives and everything. We don't go that far, right? Return to monkey is not the best option, I would say. It in general, in future, that might be the problem, though. For example, when my dad went to India with work for work visit, right? He's an engineer, and he went there to check their situation with the wastewater treatment as a wastewater engineer. TLDR is really bad, right? But like that's a different story. He went there and they went to some mall on the car. And how does that work here? You drive to the mall, press the button, get the ticket, thing opens, you pass, park somewhere, go do stuff, return, get in the car, put the ticket back, thing opens, you go in. How it works there? You drive in, there's a dude who gives you the ticket. Then there's a dude who opens the gate. Then there's a dude who shows you where you can park. Then there's a dude who like helps you like with the getting the cart and everything in. And then all in reverse. So boom, that's already like a bunch of workplaces created because there's a lot of people, not a lot of jobs to do. So that's when you're gonna start going a little bit backwards, I guess, just to kind of create the employment for some people, basically something to do for them. That might become an issue. That might become an issue. And that's already way more complicated issue to talk about, to be honest, because you can go really far in like discussing that shit, I would say. Lawmaker has zero knowledge about coding nor art. Yeah, zero knowledge. Well, I mean, it's kind of in general, yeah. You could say so, and that's the problem with a lot of legislation around copyrights and stuff. That's why we still have this beautiful DMCA. That's why we have the beautiful content ID system on YouTube that I already like got the knowledge with, got my first contact with. Very, very interesting system, very shit. So yeah, it is. It is quite interesting. So for them, that's gonna be probably another field where they can like make some monies, more work for them. Now, the option is opted in by default. I see the last guy say, yeah. Single picture online has been already scraped by AI. The thing is, like, it was already done many times, though. Like anything you put in the internet, it's already parsed, like by definition. Back in the day when we were working with like the websites, how most of like the gray area stuff was made is there's a bunch of parsers. You posted something on the internet, it's already parsed, and it's already probably part of the content on some doorway that leads to the porn site, most likely out there. That's just how it be. Bad? Absolutely. That's actually how it works already for a while. You can try to find those people, you can try to like copy try them and everything. You maybe can get just their shit removed. but it's being done. And even before all that stuff, there was a bunch of people. Even remember one of the story like this, kind of in our circle, sort of in Ellis community, when there was like a dude who was just like tracing like a bunch of art and kind of like pretending it's his or something. There was that too back in the day. Yeah, no. Just posting stuff that they traced, and then everyone was like, "Damn, dude, so good, so good." And then like, well, that was just traced. I didn't mention that before. Why? You see, the Musk guys say. I mean, the thing is, it should be something like huge, not just like US or something, because everyone will have just different legislation about it, and that's gonna be another case of this shit. Like everyone will make laws about it, and then there's gonna be some place, some country, like even here maybe, that like don't give a shit. We're just gonna parse everything, AI everything, and do our thing, and no one cares. And then companies will come to us and buy that stuff and using their stuff, and they're gonna be like, well, we didn't do it in the US. We are not, subjects of that scrutiny there. Sorry. So it's all in general very, very PPG, I would say. And it should be some global movement for that. And maybe hopefully it will start some moves with that. So it's actually not a bad thing that people, kind of like starting that, because it just attracts attention to the problem. It's not going to solve it whatsoever. When some big companies get shit on for it, I think that's a good thing too. Like I think there was like some publisher or something, right, that used like a bunch of AI art for some book or something, the book cover and everything. They got called out for that. That's good, I think, because like when someone does like Shemek, for example, uses AI art for their like D&D characters that no one will ever see, and like who even cares? Like whatever, do it. Who gives a shit? Some like random like dev or something will use like some AI art for their game or something. No one will probably even know about it unless you become like super successful all of a sudden, and then like someone will try to cancel you over that. Maybe. The Butlerian jihad like in Dune, yeah. True. They did that before. Where did that end? It ended with Mentats that replaced the computers, but were doing pretty much the same stuff. Didn't exactly solve the problem, really. It created new ones, I guess, in a way too. Right. A bit of a side stuff, but there's not that much going on anyway, though. Well, let's see. Turned out announced in the recently Bandai Namco project Sandland wasn't a game about humans and demons in the world with the lack of water, but it was the anime adaptation of a new Dragon Ball author manga. Ah, see. The premiere will be in 2023. Anime adaptation. So I guess it's just like the actual anime, not the anime game or something. So I guess Bandai Namco also making some weeb cartoons nowadays also. Exactly, next gen, exactly. Still people with feelings and stuff kind of sold it, I guess. AG, good afternoon. I guess it kind of did create other problems though. Then you get all the precious, prescience and stuff like this, all those things going on that they also try to solve over the books. Developers from Brazil published the teaser of a horror with the work name Project Aida, which is being made on the Unreal Engine 5. The authors say that the teaser is a real time in the engine and not rendered. We'll see about that. We'll see about that. Edidium. CGSA. Game Award pulls in 103 million live streams. No live streams, probably viewers, I guess. That's a bit too many live streams, I feel, even though there was a lot of co-streaming. Still a little too much, I would say. Developer Guerrilla Games confirmed one of its next projects is an online co-op title set in its Horizon universe. So it's the co-op spin-off, and then it's gonna be like the MMO stuff too. Another one. Game Awards 2022 reached highest viewership in show's history. Well, I mean, kinda expected, I guess. I wonder when it's gonna stop, though, getting bigger every year. The mobile version of Vampire Survivors is particularly popular in Brazil and Japan. Interesting. 1 million downloads in a week. I mean, that's not like the record fast, but I mean, it's pretty good. Pretty good, eh? A media and content creator registration for E3 2023 is open. Oh shit, it's time to go film some toilets. Pog. Journalists, podcasters, video creators, streamers, social media influencers, and more. You make content about games no matter the medium. Apply for a badge. Yep. Can travel though and get the visa. Unlucky, man. Unlucky. Now let's see. Blizzard Entertainment looking to boost morale and release games more regularly. So now they are reorganizing video game units, placing general managers in charge of each of its big franchises. Warcraft, Overwatch, Diablo, and unannounced survival game codenamed Odyssey. That's the one that they were hiring for, that we don't really know much about except a couple artworks. Managers tasked with building roadmaps for the franchise that the company hopes will facilitate releasing more games in the regular schedule. Chris Madsen's will focus initially on World of Warcraft. Then his work will expand to other projects across this growing franchise. So still Warcraft, I guess. All right. Might be Mask, might be. Wait, really? That's pretty much in Culinati out January 31st, and then yesterday. Yeah, the views grew at 20% compared to last year on the Game Awards. A new Dead Space remake video, developers said that the studio work on their strengths and talents to make some scenes most tense and horrifying. Dude, they're just like making like hyping up the remakes like it's like some new stuff there, basically. Like, bro, did so much for the remake. It's like a whole new game now. When people actually just want the same. Well, actually, people maybe don't even want anything because it still looks pretty fine and stuff. So it's hard to say. Alright, what else do we have? Yeah, the new Empire Survivor DLC was $1.50 there. I'll see. That's a good price. That's pretty good, huh? Let's see, so alright. Talent, the talent. And that's what I think you get when you try to like do too much. Just like the remake, no noise, no hype, just remake, done. they just kind of like trying to hype it up way too much, and it's like changing the stuff there too. That's also not gonna go that well. People don't like that too much. And I mean, in remake, I don't think like you want something new, just relaunch the series. People would love probably to have some more Dead Space. Just get a new one going. Totally just Dead Space. Just relaunch the series. But if you're remaking, just let it be. Tartuga: A Pirate's Tale will be out 19th of January. So now devs published the trailer about ship customization. We'll see about that one. That one might be interesting. See, so okay, it's there. Anything else? Seems like not really that much going on there. The holiday event and Payday 2. Damn son. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora will become the how do you say, rightful part of the canon of the universe, James Cameron universe. The events of the game will be during the time of the movie sequel. So the sequel of the movie that is out now, or the sequel like this movie? I guess next sequel. I guess. Then in the improved quote unquote version of Witcher 3, people found the Henry Cavill's dog. Damn son. Insane. And they wanted to thank him for his role. And so it was actually also Henry Cavill who wanted to make the cinematographic universe of Warhammer while staying true to the original. I mean, I'm all down for that. I'm all down for that. That's gonna be kind of interesting, though, to find someone with them stonks to invest into that, because the original vision is not something you can sell to the wide audience, I would say. Division adaptation producer said that the filming is indefinitely delayed. No one wants to work on the adaptation while the COVID memories are still fresh. All right, don't want to get more epidemics and pandemics there going, I guess. All right, and that we already seen. The creator of Doom and co-founder of id Software, John Carmack, left the Mark Zuckerberg company. He said he's tired to fight the management and plans to focus on his own startup. Which, I mean, it was his own startup until he got acquired, though, right? If I remember correct. Oofus, man. And the Zuck is taking some ills again. And the Giga Chad Carmack. Making some good stuff, and then moving on somewhere else. I thought he was doing already like some like aerospace stuff there. After like the VR, he was kind of done with the VR. Wasn't there some space stuff he was working on? Wasn't there some space stuff? Ooh, right. Let me see. Close. Alright, there we go. Let's get back to the PC. Continue with some more Pathfinder. Little more Pathfinder.